So let's bring it back to the things that you really wish we knew, or the things that you would want to say to casting. If we were just having an open forum and you wanted to say, give us information we could take away to our community and say, this is how we can do a better job with the senior community, what would that be, Alma? Would there be anything specific that you would like to?
There still is like major underrepresentation of people of color, period. And then women, another layer of complexity. And then ageism, another layer of complexity. So I think, I don't want to get too deep. Let me think. We, as a people of color, because we aren't represented a lot, when people see me or someone, again, who looks different, what you see is your perception of our history. Do I speak Spanish? Where do I come from? Am I from the border? Your vision of what a Mexican is, or if you're African American, or if you're Asian. We have this baggage that carries us around in your perception, including casting. So that's a burden that we have that is still there. So we're not seen as who we are. We're judged by, again, the color of our skin and not our character. So I would want to see us, that door thrown open, where I can compete with some of these brilliant actresses that I recognize here in the room, and not be only compete against other Latinas, who are Mexican or people of color. I want to be able to compete for roles that all you phenomenal actors compete for, not just the Latino roles.
I think that's stereotyping too, and that has nothing to do with ageism. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No. I'm sorry.
Ladies first.
I just mean that I don't think it's an ageism thing. Like, maybe you've played a sarcastic person, or maybe you've been you kind of got set in a stereotype, and nobody is giving you a chance or saying, well, yeah, she's not that type, or he's not that type. I don't think that's an age thing. I think that we just put people in boxes unnecessarily when we don't know what they are really capable of. And like you say, let's not put us in these little cubby holes.
See, and that goes back to the writers, though. A lot of the writers that are coming out, I mean, let's just say it, they're coming from the East Coast, the Ivy League, Stanfords, the Harvard, the Princetons, the Yales, the writing programs, and they're young, so they're not people with lived experience. They're not people with lived experience, and a lot of them, I won't say all, don't have the complexity of life experience, have been exposed to a lot. One of the things I noticed in television is when writers kind of, after a while, a series, they start writing about themselves, meaning the actors are about being actors and about being writers and because they don't know what else to write about. I mean, this is my assessment. Not all the shows, but a lot of the shows are like that because the writers, that's what they relate to. So the shows are about other actors and other writers. So what it tells me is the writers that they're hiring, they should be older. They should be older. They should be older. I mean, yeah. I mean, you've lived. We've lived. Good and bad. We have our our scars from fighting, our joys. That's living. So we're getting some of the same material again. That's why your show is so amazing with that you're doing, Carrie. But that's it. We have to get older writers. Period. Older writers.
CJ.
Okay, and I just want to add as well, it's something I think is really important. It's really important just to work with people, like we were talking about diverse groups of people, and it doesn't matter necessarily focusing on their age or their race or where they're from or any of that, but just working with a group of people and developing that community. It's important to have your own support system, but also just working with diverse individuals as well. For me, and my identity is also complex. I'm deaf, so I'm part of the deaf and hard of hearing community. I'm also Black, and I've been in the field for a very long time, and I have this very complex identity that, I also have to carry around and try to unpackage it and explain to people as well. I mean, just creating that inclusive environment, it's a big word, it's a big buzzword today, making sure everything is inclusive, and, we're fighting for that, but also, just making sure that we're able to, with CAA, the Creative Art Agency. Yes, sorry, the interpreter was a little tongue-tied on that. CAA. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, CAA.
Keone, is there anything else that you would, because I want to take the, oh, sorry.
Sorry, I wasn't
You good?
finished. I wasn't finished.
Yeah, take those messages back. What else? Give us something else to take back.
Well, what Tim said.
Hold on, I'm not finished.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. I'm not finished yet. Okay. So the interpreter, okay, are we good with the interpreters? Okay, we're good to go. So I'm talking about CAA specifically. So there are different impacts that we have, and there's about having inclusion. People have come up to me and said, wow, I'm learning more, and thank you for waking us up. And I'm saying what we're talking about is going out there, going to different meetings. I've been talking to people and having advocacies, pitching out ideas about the industry, what we need to see, what we need to learn, and that we need to be participants of. So now people are more motivated to work with me because I'm teaching about how to make it work, how to include diversity, how to include inclusivity. It's about that specifically. So it's not about sitting and thinking about things, no, it's about literally engaging with people in the industry to make things happen.
Yeah. Agreed. Sorry for cutting you off. Keone.
What things that Tim said made me think a little bit. And I mean, you would never say your credits don't count to someone like Robert De Niro or Al Pacino or Jane Fonda or Lily Tomlin. Those are seniors that have value. But what happens to most of us is they can't make any money off of us anymore. That's their concept. But yet we're very important to them because we are part of the machine that drives their quest for money and fame. And that's what we can't forget, that they need us. Even though they don't regard us in the way we would like them to, but they need you. They need you as part of that machine. And your value and the way you approach yourself as value to them is very important, I think, for me.